Welcome to my channel, Silent Stories. Today's story will remind you that kindness has a cost, but sometimes it also comes with the most unexpected reward. So sit back, listen closely, and let this story speak to your heart. The morning rush at Rosie's diner was always chaos. Clattering plates, hissing coffee machines, and the low hum of tired workers grabbing breakfast before another long day. Among the swirl of motion and noise, one young waitress moved like calm in the storm. Emily Carter. She wasn't flashy or loud. She didn't gossip or complain, but she had something that made her stand out. A quiet kindness that never seemed to run out, no matter how rude the customers were or how long her shifts lasted. Emily was 24, juggling 2 jobs and caring for her sick mother at home. Every dollar mattered. Every tip went toward hospital bills and rent. But no one at the diner really knew that. She kept her struggles to herself, always smiling, always saying, "Can I get you anything else?" Even when her hands shook from exhaustion. That Monday morning, the owner of the diner, Linda Parker, gathered the staff for an announcement. "All right, folks," she said, clapping her hands. "We're expecting an undercover inspection this week. Could be a food critic, could be someone from corporate. So keep your uniforms clean, your smiles big, and no mistakes. Understood?" Everyone nodded. Emily just whispered, "Yes, ma'am," and went back to wiping down tables. Around noon, a man walked in. Mid-50s, wearing a worn-out jacket, a baseball cap pulled low, and a tired look in his eyes. He carried a small backpack and a folded newspaper under his arm. He sat in the corner booth alone. No one wanted to serve him. "Looks homeless," muttered one of the waiters. "Probably won't tip." But Emily picked up the menu and smiled. "I'll take him." She approached softly. "Good afternoon, sir. What can I get you?" The man looked up slowly. "Just a coffee, black," she nodded. "Of course. Anything to eat?" He hesitated. "I don't have much money." Emily smiled gently. "Don't worry about it. Today's special is on the house." He frowned. "You can't do that, can you?" She winked. "I can if no one finds out." He chuckled, the first time his face showed any warmth. She brought him eggs, toast, and a steaming cup of coffee. She refilled his mug twice, chatted with him about the weather, and even slipped him a piece of pie before he left. When he asked for the bill, she shook her head. "Just promise me you'll pay it forward someday." He stared at her for a long moment, eyes glistening, then whispered, "You remind me of someone I once knew." "Thank you, Emily." She froze for a second. She hadn't told him her name. But before she could ask, he smiled and left, leaving only a single dollar under the plate. Later that afternoon, Linda stormed out of her office, red-faced and fuming. "Emily Carter!" The whole diner fell silent. "Yes, ma'am?" Emily asked, her heart racing. Linda slammed a receipt down on the counter. "You gave a free meal to that drifter, didn't you?" Emily blinked. He looked hungry. "He didn't have—" "I don't care," Linda snapped. "This is a business, not a charity. You broke policy. Pack your things. You're done here." The entire staff went quiet. Some looked away. Others shook their heads. "Please," Emily begged, "I need this job. My mom—" But Linda cut her off. "Out now!" And just like that, Emily was fired. That night, she sat on her mother's hospital bed, trying to smile. "It's okay, Mom," she whispered. "I'll find something else." Her mother, pale and weak, reached for her hand. "You did the right thing, sweetheart. Don't let the world change your heart." But Emily's eyes welled up. "Sometimes I wonder if kindness even matters anymore." Her mother smiled faintly. "It matters most when it costs you something." 2 days later, the diner buzzed with tension. Linda was nervous. The undercover inspection she'd mentioned was supposed to happen this week, and the corporate representative still hadn't shown up. At exactly noon, a black car pulled up outside. Out stepped a man in a clean suit, holding a folder embossed with the logo of Rosie's corporate group. He walked in calmly, looking around. "Good afternoon," he said. "I'm Mr. Grant from headquarters. I'd like to speak with your staff." Everyone froze. Linda's eyes went wide. "Of course," she said quickly. "We've been expecting you." Mr. Grant looked around the diner, his gaze sweeping over the staff until it landed on the empty corner booth, the same booth where Emily had served the stranger. He nodded slowly. "I recognize this place. Would you like to sit, sir?" Linda offered, her voice trembling slightly. He ignored her. "Tell me, Miss Parker, is Emily Carter here?" Linda blinked. No, sir. She was let go." "Let go?" he repeated, raising an eyebrow. "Why?" She gave away food to a customer who couldn't pay, Linda said defensively. We can't tolerate that kind of behavior. Mr. Grant smiled faintly. Interesting. Then he reached into his briefcase and pulled out a photograph of himself, but not in a suit, in a worn-out jacket and baseball cap. The entire diner gasped. I believe that's the man she served, he said softly. Linda's face turned pale. You were the man you called a drifter, he finished. Yes, he turned to the staff. I came here undercover to evaluate the diner, not for its food, but for its heart. To see how people are treated, how employees behave when no one's watching. He paused, his voice growing firm. And the only one who showed genuine kindness was Emily Carter, the woman you fired. Linda stammered. Sir, I didn't know. Mr. Grant cut her off with a raised hand. No excuses. You judged her for doing what this company claims to stand for. Compassion, integrity, service. He turned to the other workers. Is she here? Do any of you know where I can find her? No one spoke until one of the cooks muttered, She's been taking care of her sick mom. She lives over on Maple Street. Mr. Grant nodded. Thank you. Then he looked back at Linda. Pack your things. You're done here. That evening, a gentle knock echoed on Emily's apartment door. She opened it cautiously and froze. Standing there was the same man she'd fed 2 days ago, only now wearing a fine suit and holding a small bouquet of daisies. Mr. Grant? She whispered, recognizing him from the company's posters. He smiled. You remembered my name. She blinked, confused. What's going on? I owe you an apology, he said. And a thank you. For what? For reminding me what this company and people should stand for. He handed her an envelope. Inside was a letter of reinstatement and a promotion. You're the new manager at Rosie's Diner, he said gently. Starting tomorrow. Emily's eyes filled with tears. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm very serious, he replied. We're also covering your mother's hospital expenses. Full treatment, no questions asked. Her hand trembled. I don't know what to say. Just keep being who you are, he said. The world needs more people like you. When Emily returned to the diner the next morning, the staff gathered in stunned silence. She looked around, trying to fight back her tears. Mr. Grant stepped forward. Everyone, meet your new manager. She earned this position not through rules, but through humanity. The room erupted in applause. Emily smiled softly, looking at the familiar corner booth. You never know who's watching, she said, so just be kind anyway. Over time, Rosie's Diner transformed. Under Emily's care, it became more than a place to eat. It became a refuge. A place where no one was judged for what they wore or how much they could pay. She started a pay-it-forward program where customers could prepay meals for those in need. And every morning before opening the doors, she placed a single fresh daisy in the corner booth, the same one where it all began. A few months later, Emily visited her mother in the hospital again. Only this time, her mother's color had returned, her smile brighter. You did it, sweetheart, her mother whispered. You turned pain into purpose. Emily squeezed her hand. You taught me how. Her mother smiled faintly. Maybe, but kindness like yours, that's a gift. The story of the waitress who fed the boss spread far beyond that little town. News outlets picked it up, calling it a modern miracle of compassion. People sent letters, flowers, and donations. Some came just to eat at Rosie's, hoping to meet the woman whose kindness changed a company. But Emily never saw herself as a hero. I just did what anyone should do, she'd say softly. I saw someone hungry, and I helped. One rainy evening, long after closing, Mr. Grant stopped by again. He found Emily sitting in the corner booth, sipping coffee. You've done well, he said. She smiled, still trying to live up to your compliment. He chuckled. You already have. But tell me something, do you ever regret it? Giving that free meal? Emily looked down at her mug, then back at him. No, because if I hadn't, I'd still be serving food. Not changing lives, he nodded, eyes shining with pride. That's exactly what I hope to hear. And that's the story, friends. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness becomes the loudest echo of change. Emily didn't help that man because of what she could gain. She helped him because it was right. And in a world that often forgets the power of compassion, her story reminds us that doing good is never wasted. So if you ever have a choice between rules and kindness, choose kindness. Every time. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Silent Stories, where hearts speak louder than words. See you in the next story, where silence tells another truth.